So because of that experience, sort of in the same way that storytelling was like this, crash course in dramaturgy, and touring is the boot camp of acting, directing young people where you're really pushing to get a high quality product in very short amount of time with kids who don't necessarily have a large amount of training or experience, refined my directorial style to ensure that every single kid on that stage could succeed and look good and feel good. Because in the end, if you're going to put on a show with kids, it does not matter if the show is good. The only thing that matters is if the child performing in the show feels good. Because if every single child performing in that show feels good, I guarantee you the show will be good. Mm-hmm. And sort of figuring out that dynamic of, it's not about my staging. It's not about my vision. It's about how do I make sure that every single child, if their skill set started here, that I make sure that their skill set grows to here, and that their self-confidence grows from here to here. Is that I feel like we in the arts are so much more prepared to teach in that way and in that mode, because we are so used to working in a zone where it's our job to make everyone feel good and look good. Mm-hmm. So every person, it be it an adult in a cast or a child in a cast or whoever I'm working with, lifting up that individual and their specific strengths is something that, like, we in the arts, it's just kind of part of our fabric. And it's interesting because I see in education, I see that, Martin, that like that's kind of right now like this new revolutionary concept in across education. And I'm like, hey, where you guys been? We've known this for a while. Yeah.
Fabulous. All right, so when we start a theater process, we always want to make sure that we are in the room together, because creating theater takes imagination, it takes our body, yeah, right there, it's perfect. It takes our body, it takes our voice, and it takes our imagination. So we like to come up with games and activities that help warm up those things. The same way, if you're on a soccer team, if you're on a swim team, that you have to make sure your body is ready for those activities. So this is a quick circle game, which is just a sound and a movement. So what we're going to do is each one of us, or whoever wants to participate, if you want to pass, totally fine, is going to come up with a sound and a movement to go with it. So it might look something like this. Bing bong! And then everyone in the circle does the same sound and movement that person does. Ready? And go. Bing bong! Fantastic! All right. So what we're doing here is we're actually not just doing a silly sound and a silly movement. We're also practicing making sure we're listening and giving focus to people. So giving focus is a way that we make sure that the actors know, that the audience knows where the story is going at any given moment. As we create theater, it's really important that we are in a room where we accept and think about all ideas. And doing something silly like that, making a noise, moving our body, having other people validate us by listening and repeating what we are doing, allows us to be in a place where you can let your imagination get really, really big and not worry about somebody saying, oh no, that's a terrible idea. Because in theater, we are always saying yes and. We love that idea, what else can we do with it? And that's how a show like Press Here is made, is we say, yes, let's make a show about a book that's about dots. Why not? And how do we do it? Children are being raised with art as a privilege, art as an other. That's treating art like the sprinkles on the ice cream, but what if art is actually the ice cream? Right? Research has proven time and again, the arts benefit kids with empathy, with literacy, with imagination, with creativity, with self-confidence, with school readiness. Isn't that what we want our world to look like? Kids who understand those things? That's why BACT is striving to ensure access to every single child in the Bay Area.
I couldn't agree more with Nina. I went to public school in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I had art every single day.